together. Radio Manu 91, where it's always better. Where it's always better. Yo. सुबह का सूरज या शाम का रंग, we bring you joy हर जुबान का धन. Community की बात हम हैं आपके साथ, let's spread the love. चलो मिल के साथ tune in, turn up, दिल से बात करो. Radio Manu 92 FM के साथ चलो. Every voice counts, हर लम्हा यहाँ. चलो बात करके देखते हैं, let's all shine on. Yo. Let's all go. सेहत की बात or dreams to share. Radio Manu 92 FM, we're always there. From unity to joy, we bring the light. Every word, every tune makes everything right. Listen up, it's time to unite. Radio Manu 92 FM, shining bright. Dill se suno, we love and care. Chalo baat karke dekhte hain, let's take it there. So come along for the ride. Radio Manu 92 FM, we're by your side. चलो बात करके देखते हैं. Your voice, your guide.
आप सुन रहे हैं रेडियो मानो 90.0 FM. चलो बात करके देखते हैं.
This is Radio Manu 90.0 FM presenting Saheli Samvad.
आदाब हैदराबाद. मैं हूं आरजे मोनिशा और सहेली संवाद के एक और एपिसोड में आपका स्वागत है. सहेली संवाद is presented by Center for Women's Studies, Maulana Azad National Urdu University and Rubaru, a youth development organization working in Hyderabad with young people on issues of social inclusion for the last 10 years. सहेली संवाद के आज के एपिसोड में we have with us Himani Gupta, who is the co-founder of Kriti Social Initiatives, and we will be talking about vocational training and livelihoods for community women. So hi Himani, welcome to today's show.
Hi Monisha, glad to be here.
So Himani, just like we always begin, if you can share a little bit about yourself, tell us, give us an introduction into who you are.
So I'm an engineer by profession or by training.
Yeah.
So I worked as an engineer for a few years, and then I did my business studies, and I worked as a management consultant. And in 2006, I was somewhere between jobs.
Yeah.
And on a kind of a whim, I took up a short-term assignment with a non-profit in Bangalore called Unitas.
Okay.
So that used to work in microfinance space. It was an American-funded NGO.
Yeah.
And so that was like my first introduction to the social sector. I think first time I stepped out of like the typical career, education, this college, that job kind of a race.
Yeah.
And so in that organization, I was with them for 3 years, and I visited NGOs working in rural areas, NGOs working in urban slums, and I decided that this was something that I wanted to do.
Yeah.
And I decided also with another friend that it was something that we wanted to do ourselves. So
Yeah.
with that organization, we were helping other NGOs who were doing grassroots work. We said,
Yeah.
no, let us take on grassroots work ourselves.
Yeah.
And we took on the mission to say, okay, let's work on issues in Hyderabad.
Yeah.
We are both living here, so there are enough kind of poverty and other issues that we can see around us. So let's start on that. So that's how kind of I started. And it's been now almost 15 years.
Wow.
And we've
Yeah.
been doing a variety of different projects. Broadly, our work looks at both education and supporting education for children, as well as it looks at how we can help women to earn income through skills training, livelihoods, loans, and other such things.
Okay. Thanks for sharing and giving our audience a flavor into just who you are and the work that you do. So Himani, I think जब क्योंकि आज का जो topic है, we are talking about vocational training, we are talking about livelihoods, especially for community women. So if you can share a little bit about that in in context with the work that you do. So अगर थोड़ा आप उसके बारे में भी शेयर कर सकते हैं कि what is vocational training, what do we mean by livelihoods, how do you all do it, क्या क्या चीज़ें आप करती हैं उसके context में.
देखिए हमारा एक स्पेसिफिक फोकस एरिया एक किस्म से सोच लीजिए इज विमेन हु आर मैरिड मे बी विथ यंग चिल्ड्रन. सो वी आर लुकिंग, हमने जब शुरू में वी डिड लॉट ऑफ लाइक फोकस ग्रुप in the slums where we were working, and we realized that there is a challenge. Women need additional income, but either they don't have the education or they certainly don't have the time, when you look at all the care responsibilities they have in the house, to take up a full-time job. So we were looking at what can they do to get some supplemental income. And हमने बहुत चीज़ें try करी, from like making newspaper bags to detergent making to I don't know, agarbatti rolling. So a lot of these things we have tried at various points. And finally we have come down to what you may say are like the tried and tested things. One is we do tailoring training and we do beautician services. Now, we find that that's something that women are very comfortable with. So जब हम जाके announce करते हैं that we are starting a tailoring center in a new kind of community, so we get positive response. Women want to come and learn. And हमने जो देखा, it's a 4-month course that we do. So it's basically our model is कि हम कोई भी new community में जाते हैं after doing the initial surveys and all of that. We take up a room on rent within the community. So the idea is it should be walking distance for the women. We hire a local trainer, we train the trainer on our curriculum, we set up all of that. And then we start inviting women to join. It's a batch wise thing. So they will be 30 women, एक batch will be formed and then they will be together for the next 4 months. So we find ki, I mean, women come with the objective that they, I mean, we find in the 4-month course, we teach them basics, cutting, what is a machine, some theory, and we are like, we promise them that at the end of the 4 months, you'll at least be able to cut and stitch your own garments. Apart from that, we also do some soft skill training. We, you know, talk to them about nutrition, about, we have a captive audience. So, or we can, how else can we engage with them when they are there with us for the 12 weeks or 16 weeks of the course. So, I mean, we find that women join the tailoring training for, I mean, we see 2 benefits coming out of it. One is that, of course, they learn a new skill and some of them use it for earning income later. But fact is कि tailoring is a commoditized skill. कितने tailors हैं, right? हर कोई मतलब बहुत से NGOs भी सिखाते जा रहे हैं और हम भी एक बस्ती में जाके एक साल में 100 लेडीज को सिखा देते हैं. तो वहाँ पे कितने टेलरिंग शॉप्स तो 100 नहीं खुल सकते ना. सो करीब 15-20 लेडीज जो हमारे 100 हम लोग एक साल में एक बैच में कवर करते हैं, 15-20 कुछ उससे इनकम जनरेशन स्टार्ट करते हैं. बाकियों के लिए इट इज़ वन, एक तो इट्स लाइक कि दे have got a new skill and they are stitching clothes for themselves, they are saving money, they are enjoying being able to make clothes for their mother, sister, daughter, all of that. The other thing we find that it's also for the women, it's a safe space. जो आप देखो typically उनकी life, a young mother with 2 children living in a small house inside in a slum area, तो उसका मतलब life is full of stresses, financial stress, threat of domestic violence, restrictions on don't go out, don't do this, don't do that, concern कि बहुत मेरे बच्चे कैसे बड़े होंगे, वो ठीक कर रहे हैं नहीं कर रहे हैं, उनकी पढ़ाई कैसे मैं सपोर्ट करूँगी. So there are so many stresses on her, and this center becomes like a bit of a safe space for them. So they feel कि when they are coming to join our tailoring center, they are doing something for themselves. They are making time
for themselves.
Making time for themselves.
So क्या जब शुरू करते हैं इसी इंटेंशन से शुरू करते हैं कि मतलब is the vocational training being run also with the intention that they find jobs or it converts into a livelihood opportunity, or like you're sharing, it's also much more beyond that? Does it start there? How do we look at
the
that?
premise when we started was income generation for women, but over the years we have realized कि भाई टेलरिंग स्पेशली उसका एक लिमिटेड स्कोप है इनकम जनरेशन पॉइंट ऑफ व्यू से, एंड दीज वर लाइक साइड बेनिफिट्स दैट वी हैव डिस्कवर्ड ओवर टाइम. क्यों ज्वाइन कर रहे हैं? एंड वी लुक एट लाइक यू नो, जब वो ज्वाइन करते हैं तो यू नो 15 वीमेन एक बैच में होती है, मॉर्निंग बैच. तो शुरू में सब दूर दूर बैठ रहे हैं, लंच में भी एक दूसरे से ज्यादा बात नहीं कर रहे हैं. बाय द एंड ऑफ द 4 months they have created some support network for themselves. Different communities are mixing together.
Yeah.
Hindus and Muslims are sitting and talking to each other. They realize that they never even knew दूसरे जने की लाइफ कैसी थी, वो क्या खाते थे, क्या त्योहार मनाते थे, उनको कुछ पता ही नहीं था. So they are learning all of that. They are making friendships that are not, linked to any particular family or, job or something.
Yeah.
So that we find a lot of changes happening in them. They talk about, it reduces their stress and they get some mental support from the community. But our intention is largely about giving them a vocational skill which they can use to earn income now or maybe in future if there is an emergency and they really need money.
Yeah. So जैसे कि आप कह रहे हैं कि it starts with that intention कि there is livelihood opportunity, there is employment or entrepreneurial opportunity, but how you've also seen value in it is कि उससे बहुत बड़ा भी है, मतलब they are able to find a safe space, they are able to seek out each other, they are able to really build a community together by being part of this, है ना?
Yes, yes.
Yeah. So दोस्तों बने रहिए हमारे साथ, हम बात कर रहे हैं हिमानी के साथ on understanding vocational training and livelihoods for community women. We'll be right back after this short break.
आप सुन रहे हैं सहेली संवाद रेडियो मानू 90.0 FM का वुमेन्स शो.
You're listening to Radio Manu 90.0 FM, a community radio station.
So join the wave, come along for the ride. Radio Manu 90.0 FM, we're by your side. चलो बात करके देखते हैं.
Your voice, your guide.
This audio has been generated through AI.
ये है रेडियो मानू 90.0 FM. आइए अब सुनते हैं द माइंडफुल मिनट.
जो जैसा बोता है वैसा ही काटता है, प्रसिद्ध कथन. Start writing no matter what. The water does not flow until the faucet is turned on. Louis L'Amour. रिश्ते निभाने का ज़र्फ ना हो तो रिश्ते बनाने से परहेज करें. मशहूर कौल.
This is Radio Manu 90.0 FM. You were listening to the Mindful Minute. For sales, marketing and brand promotions, write to us on Radio Manu at manu.edu.in.
So join the wave, come along for the ride. Radio Manu 90.0 FM, we're by your side. चलो बात करके देखते हैं.
Your voice, your guide.
आप सुन रहे हैं सहेली संवाद रेडियो मानू 90.0 FM का वुमेन्स शो.
दोस्तों वेलकम बैक टू सहेली संवाद. हम बात कर रहे हैं हिमानी के साथ ऑन अंडरस्टैंडिंग वोकेशनल ट्रेनिंग एंड लाइवलीहुड्स फॉर कम्युनिटी वुमेन. सो हिमानी, बहुत ही इंटरेस्टिंग तरीके से आपने ब्रेक से पहले आपने शेयर किया था कि कैसे एक सिस्टरहुड भी बन जाता है इस vocational training के माध्यम से. How these women come together and are really able to find each other in support of issues happening at home, finding a space to build their own skills in that and really just connect with each other, जो शायद रोजमर्रे की जिंदगी में नहीं करे, है ना? Just also want to ask, so when we're talking about vocational training and you've shared about working with community women, do you also do this with men, or do you see vocational training also happening with men around?
See, we are not working with men, but vocational training is any practical skills. All the ITI colleges that are there are in a way
They are
vocational training.
yeah.
So anything which is not going through the regular BA, BSc, those kind of degrees is vocational training. So it is out there, and there are many organizations that provide apprenticeship courses and vocational training for men. Of course, it's gendered. Men are joining air conditioning and refrigeration, mechanic, electrician, all of that. And we are also sensitive to the fact that, you know, despite being a kind of non-profit working towards empowering women, we are in a way encouraging putting women back into the box.
Yeah.
It's come more out of what we have found women to be comfortable with. We do have a plan this year, in fact, to explore, now that this foundation is kind of set and we know what to do on tailoring and beautician, to explore some non-conventional vocational courses. Could be mobile repairing, bike repairing. I've been reading up other organizations across the country, what they are doing, and trying to see like what models we can learn from.
Yeah.
So
I was going to ask this question also around, you know, don't we see somewhere these beautician courses, these tailoring courses going again into this whole, you know, gendered box of महिलाओं को ये सिखा देते हैं और पुरुषों को, you know, मोबाइल रिपेयर या बाइक मैकेनिक का ट्रेनिंग हम दे देते हैं. But do you also see stories where you know, different vocational trainings are taken on, or what are some challenges in really creating space to say that why not we offer this, you know, to everyone instead of just saying कि ये है option और आप ये कीजिए. But is there scope of or do you see any stories of separating from that and saying कि कुछ और नया उन्होंने try किया है, या क्या struggles हैं
इसमें एक हम एग्जाम्पल दे सकते हैं which is in the beautician services. So for example, hair cutting for men, that's typically a male sphere.
Okay.
So, and that's in fact caste based. Typically there is a particular caste across the country which will be doing hair cutting. So whether you are a small, आप एक छोटी सी नाई की दुकान हो, या you are some hi-fi like beauty salon chain, when you are hiring hairstylists, you end up looking for people from that caste because you need men, and men only from that caste will do this work. So now we have a case where we are working with a chain of men's hair cutting salons who are saying, let's break this gender barrier. Why don't we train women to become hairstylists for men? And it's working well. Our first pilot is kind of over. We've got 4 women who have gone through this 4-month course on learning how to do hair cutting and styling for men, and they've just started work at 4 different salons.
Wow.
So that's
beautiful to hear.
Yeah.
You know, vocational training also shattering gender norms.
Bilkul.
Really
Har
creating
jagah, I
space.
mean, but yes, it is true that why we chose certain vocational training is also about the comfort of our audience. That's what women are easily gravitating towards. So like, okay, ये तो एक option दे दो, आप सीख लो, tailoring सीख लो. उसके बाद अब हम सोचेंगे कि out of the so many women, now one, you can take them up the curve on tailoring itself. आप कोई भी factory में जाओ, मशीन पे तो लेडीज बैठी हैं, कटिंग पैटर्न्स मास्टर कौन है, वो तो आदमी है. सो वी आर नाउ लुकिंग एट हाउ वी कैन, आउट ऑफ द मे बी 500-600 women we have trained over the years, how can we identify those whom we can make into pattern masters. So within that same profession we can look for a different path for the women who have that passion.
Also possibly कि जो families का जो support होता है, it may be easier for women also to within their agency negotiate कि अच्छा ये कोर्स हम कर रहे हैं, you know, tailoring courses also say accepted by families much more easily than saying कि
बिल्कुल. I don't like to use the word, but I hear it so often from the women कि हमें परमिशन नहीं मिल रही है. अब टेलरिंग के लिए तो परमिशन मिल जाती है कि बट यू नो वो whether it is husband, brother, father, somebody is not permitting the woman to come out to learn something that she will help her.
Yeah, I think this word permission, I think we've also explored it, you know, in some other episodes, where we've really talked about how this word allow or this word permission unfortunately applies with women just to step out of homes, what they choose to do, what they study, what they want for their own lives or for their own selves. Sometimes it's not their own decision. It's, in fact, very rarely their own decision or their own agency in that. दोस्तों बने रहिए हमारे साथ. We are chatting with Himani on understanding vocational training, livelihoods for community women. What does it really mean? Stay tuned with us. We'll be right back after this short break.
You're listening to Saheli Samvad, Radio Manu 90.0 FM's Women's Show.
आप सुन रहे हैं रेडियो मानो 90.0 FM, एक कम्युनिटी रेडियो स्टेशन।
So join the wave, come along for the ride. Radio Manu 90.0 FM, we're by your side. चलो बात करके देखते हैं.
Your voice, your guide.
This audio has been generated through AI.
Let's listen to अर्ज किया है।
आदाब दोस्तों, आप सुन रहे हैं अर्ज किया है रेडियो मानू 90.0 FM पर। आइए आज मुलाकात करते हैं उर्दू अदब के अजीम शायर फिराक गोरखपुरी से। फिराक गोरखपुरी का असल नाम रघुपति सहाय था। उनका जन्म 1896 में गोरखपुर, उत्तर प्रदेश में हुआ। वो उर्दू गज़ल के उन चंद बुजुर्ग शुआरा में शुमार किए जाते हैं जिन्होंने उर्दू शायरी को जदीद एहसास, इंसानी जज्बात और हिंदुस्तानी तहजीब की खुशबू से माला माल किया। फिराक साहब को उर्दू अदब में उनकी बेमिसाल खिदमात के लिए ज्ञानपीठ अवार्ड से भी नवाजा गया। फिराक की शायरी में इश्क, हुस्न, तन्हाई, फितरत और इंसानी जिंदगी के नाजुक एहसासात का गहरा रंग मिलता है। उनका अंदाज़े बयान निहायत दिलकश, नफीस और फिक्रा अफरोज था। उन्होंने गज़ल को एक नई ताजगी और जदीद लहजा अता किया। आइए उनका एक मशहूर शेर सुनते हैं। एक मुद्दत से तेरी याद भी आई ना हमें, और हम भूल गए हों तुझे, ऐसा भी नहीं। और एक और दिल नशीन शेर मुलाहिजा हो, बहुत पहले से उन कदमों की आहट जान लेते हैं, तुझे ये जिंदगी हम दूर से पहचान लेते हैं। फिराक गोरखपुरी की शायरी मोहब्बत की नरमी, इंसानी जज्बात की गहराई और हिंदुस्तानी तहजीब के हुस्न का आईना है। उनका कलाम आज भी कारी और सामईन के दिलों को अपनी तरफ मुतवज्जह करता है। उर्दू अदब की तारीख में फिराक गोरखपुरी का नाम एक ऐसी शायर के तौर पर हमेशा याद रखा जाएगा जिन्होंने उर्दू गज़ल को नई फिक्री और जमालियाती आफाक से आशना किया। इसी के साथ दीजिए इजाज़त, फिर मुलाकात होगी एक और अजीम अदबी शख्सियत के साथ। आप सुन रही थी अर्ज किया है सिर्फ रेडियो मानू 90.0 FM पर।
आप सुन रहे थे अर्ज किया है। सेल्स, मार्केटिंग और ब्रांड प्रमोशंस के लिए हमसे राब्ता करें radiomanu@manu.edu.in पर।
So join the wave, come along for the ride. Radio Manu 90.0 FM, we're by your side. चलो बात करके देखते हैं.
Your voice, your guide.
You're listening to Saheli Samvad, Radio Manu 90.0 FM's Women's Show.
दोस्तों, welcome back to Saheli Samvad. We are talking to Himani on understanding vocational training and livelihoods for community women. So Himani, break से पहले we were talking about this word permission or allow and how महिलाओं को अक्सर permission की ज़रूरत होती है कुछ भी काम करने के लिए, खुद के लिए, किसी और के लिए, घर से बाहर निकलने के लिए। सवाल ये है कि अगर परमिशन को हम ध्यान में रखते हुए, तो हाउ डू यू थिंक is there space that women are able to negotiate this permission or within their families for economic independence, for financial independence? Like जब हम livelihoods की बात करते हैं, how do we look at negotiating permission for community women, especially with restrictions?
देखिए, लाइवलीहुड की जहाँ बात आती है, देयर आर दो चीज़ें हैं। एक तो है कि घर के काम। सो द फैक्ट इज दैट द वुमन has उनके बहुत सारे मतलब दिन के काफ़ी सारे घंटे are occupied with necessary tasks.
And they're not counted under livelihood.
They're not counted under livelihood, but किसी को तो करना है वो सब काम and बहुत ज़रूरी भी है फैमिली की परवरिश के लिए. और दूसरी तरफ है this permission of when it comes to stepping outside the boundary of home. So what women often do which kind of helps them manage is कि I can carve out 3-4 घंटे दिन में तो मैं घर के अंदर से ही क्या काम कर सकती हूँ. And we find that a lot happening across different communities in Hyderabad, especially a lot amongst the Muslim communities, where वो घर से बाहर निकलने की permission तो बहुत ही मतलब कम है. Like even when you see any surveys or studies, they will all say that the participation of women, Muslim women in labor force is like negligible. But when we do surveys in the slums, we find almost 30 to 40% of women are economically active. वो घर से कुछ ना कुछ काम कर रहे हैं. काम बहुत हैं, from garlic peeling, tailoring orders at home. We have been working with a large cluster of women who make lag bangles. So वो सब काम घर से होता है. कोई एजेंट या कोई आके घर पे काम छोड़ता है, महिला करके उनको हैंड ओवर करती हैं. So they get some economic kind of income out of it, of course, which is important for their agency, for giving them some flexibility in some cash that they can spend by themselves and things like that.
Yeah. I think बहुत interesting जो आप कह रहे हैं, दो चीजें हैं. One is how livelihood, which is domestic work of that women do at home, how that actually contributes to family's livelihood as well, right? Like क्योंकि अगर कोई भी घर के मेंबर बाहर जाके काम कर रहे हैं, पैसे कमा रहे हैं, किसी ना किसी को तो घर का देखभाल करना होगा और and that also contributes to the larger economic, family economic status, right? And the second thing, and this one is not counted for, it's not counted under any statistics, it's not counted under anything. And the second thing that you're saying is, women who are working at home, they are also not counted under the labor force, so there's no data around that. But yet they are economically active, like you said. So I think these are very interesting points that you've shared. So thanks for just bringing that to light to our audience as well. Himani, I think so far you've shared so much around, vocational training, what all comes under it, what are some challenges, what are some livelihood options or opportunities where women are negotiating or finding their way. So you've been doing so much through Kriti and it's incredible work that you're sharing. So thank you for joining us. But if you can also share, what are your plans going forward? What's next?
So yeah, we want to continue what we've been doing, which is to provide tailoring beautician courses, but we also want to explore now, non-conventional. We would like to see women break the gender barriers and enter into traditionally male vocational courses, and we're going to be starting a pilot program on that in the next couple of months. So we're really looking forward to that.
This is very exciting. Do you know of any that are already there, or anybody who's experimented with these, or
So I've been tracking the work of one non-profit in Indore, which has been running bike mechanic courses and has been helping women to work in bike repair shops. And I think that's great. I mean, we've been exploring things like, for example, sewing machine repair. We said, okay, start with tailoring. Okay, तो अब
it's a great idea.
Machines तो सबके घर पे हैं. I mean, we find communities के अंदर भी almost 50% of households have a sewing machine. तो कहीं ना कहीं तो जाते होंगे इसको रिपेयर करवाने के लिए. So why not teach women to become sewing machine mechanics? So वहाँ से शुरू करेंगे. फिर जाएंगे maybe cycle repair, bike repair. इन सब में main challenge is to get women to be comfortable in the customer facing. अब आप बाइक रिपेयर कर रहे हैं तो आप एक दुकान खोलेंगे, आपको रोड पे आपको रहना पड़ेगा. So that is somewhere where the challenges will lie, but we are looking forward to that.
Yeah, very interesting. I think also just for the mindset, I think like repair is a mindset also sometimes. I think as women, I think even for me, it takes a while to get there to say that Acha, I can repair. I don't need to depend on somebody else to repair. Like exactly like this thing around sewing machine that you're saying, matlab. And I'm sure many of them are already repairing it, in their own ways. Things like mixies, things at home that they're using already. So thank you so much, Himani, for joining us. I think it's been very interesting to have you share so much about your experience through Kriti, through the work that you've been doing in the development space, especially with women, community women, and doing the vocational training and the livelihoods work that you're doing. So Thank you for joining us and sharing with our audience today.
Thanks so much for inviting me, Monisha. It's been a pleasure.
So दोस्तों, ये था आज का एपिसोड ऑन सहेली संवाद. We'll be back on another day with another guest on another episode. तब तक के लिए this is RJ Monisha signing off.
आप सुन रहे थे सहेली संवाद रेडियो मानो 90.0 FM पर. चलो बात करके देखते हैं.
You are listening to Radio Manu 90.0 FM. चलो बात करके देखते हैं.